Hello, welcome to Postgame with Jamell. I am here with one of my good friends, Arianna Yancey, and she is an artist. I've known her since I transferred to Cleveland. And Ari, why don't you tell everyone about yourself?
I am an artist. I mostly do photography. I do plan on being a photographer when I'm older and possibly owning my own business. And I do also do other art such as poetry, and drawing as well. So yeah, that's like a little bit about me, I guess.
Yeah, like what made you want to do like photography and art?
um, it's kind of funny. I started photography because um like in 8th grade, I found an app called Visco, which everybody knows about now because of like
Yes.
the Visco girls and all that stuff. But I found it before it became like super popular and all this stuff. And I just had because I just really wanted to have fun and edit my photos. And so I started editing my photos and posting them on social media. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, your photos look great," and blah blah blah, or it looks like a painting and stuff like that. And like I was just getting such positive feedback on it. And then I realized how much I enjoyed it, and then I went up into like the Placitas Mountains, and that was like the first time my parents let me use like an actual camera. Like this is not necessarily the first time, but like I actually got to like take actual pictures with the camera and like experiment with stuff and play around. And then I got this like I got this pre uh software on my computer to edit instead of using Visco, and it was called like Darktable or something. It's like now that I look at it, it's like really bad, but like then it was like, oh yes, this is like great quality and all this stuff. And I loved it, and I still do. And now it's turned into um a whole nother thing where I just want to like express like people through art. Like I want to take the model's experiences in life or something meaningful and put it into photos. Um, and I think I've done a pretty decent job at that. Uh, I will say it has been really hard to take photos during quarantine because I
Yeah.
only have myself, and and self-portraits can be satisfying for other people, but for me that I've learned that's like even though I've gotten a lot better at modeling, I want to be behind the camera. Like, it's the most satisfying when I'm behind the camera, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like, some portraits are fun, but not all the time. Cause I had like so many ideas for self portraits, and then like after 2 photo shoots of doing them, I was just like, this isn't what I want, you know. Um, and I've been like doing art my entire life because my mom is an artist herself. She doesn't do art as much anymore because I guess she just grew out of it or isn't or doesn't really have time for it anymore. I don't know. Um, but when I was a kid, she used to draw all the time, and I loved it because I would just sit there and I would watch her. And then I still have this little notebook from when we were kids, or I was a kid. Me and my sister were anyway. Um, and she would draw little pictures, and I would like, and next to it would be my drawing, which was like a really bad drawing for a version. But I always tried to copy what she was doing, and like that's pretty much how I learned to do everything. Is I would watch other people do things, and that's how I learned. Um, because I'm a visual learner. Like I mean, I watched my sister ride her bike for years, and then the second I got on a bike within like 10, 15 minutes, I was just like, I don't need training wheels. I'm gonna go like ride by myself. Bye.
It's like I mastered
Cause,
this beat.
cause that's just how I've always been. Like being able to like watch other people because of like I think it started because of art, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I started from like probably when I was born watching my mom draw, but that's just how my brain works now. Um and like that even like correlates into like school and stuff because I'll be drawing in class and teachers will think that I'm not paying attention.
Mhm.
Makes sense, I guess. But the thing is that the way I think about it is I'm listening to everything that they're saying and say I'm drawing like an eye on the picture or like the mouth or something or I'm coloring it a certain color, I can go back to that picture and say, "Oh yeah, we were talking about this in class while I was drawing that part." And I just find that like interesting. And it's kind of wild and I kind of want to um start using that in like as a study method in a way, not necessarily like a full-on picture, but like
Mhm.
draw little images and then maybe like side notes aside.
Yeah, basically, like you're
Just
saying that it's almost like a memorizing stuff when you draw.
yeah, and then people would look at my notes and be like, "How can you like memorize stuff from that?" But that's just how my brain works. It's like I don't know. It would be kind of cool to be able to just draw little pictures and then be like, "This is my notes." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think it's just always been like ingrained in me to do art. Without art, I don't think I would really be alive, I guess.
Yeah, I've taken up some drawing. I've drawn like these like WWE match cards. Watch, I'll show you. They're not. They. You may be triggered. Look at. I can.
Oh, that's cool.
And then there's a bottom one right here.
Uh, yeah, those are actually pretty good. Draw like taking the time to draw like faces and bodies and stuff
Took
is
me.
really hard, especially if you're a beginner. Like I remember trying when I was younger, and it was agony for me. And then since I spent years of getting like where I am with faces now. And even now, I'm like, I still struggle so bad. My most recent drawing, because I haven't drawn very much this quarantine either, just because I I use these specific markers, but they all dried out, and they're like $100 for them.
Oh
But
damn.
yeah, so I've been like trying to like save some money up for that. I just haven't really had the chance to like get them,
Mhm.
and like without them, I just don't feel like complete when it comes to the drawing. And I thought that, the markers that I got from my birthday would work because 'cause they're, like, some Copic markers, but, like, there's only, like, 6 of them, so they don't, like, blend that well together,
Mhm.
and since there's only 6, I don't have that many colors to choose from because I like to do, like, unrealistic colors for, like, the skin and the hair because I just find that, like, fun because, like, if I were a person that can choose my s like, whatever any color for my hair or skin tone, as you've already seen with my hair,
Yeah.
um, I obviously wouldn't choose my natural hair color, and I probably wouldn't choose a natural skin tone either. I'd probably be like, "Oh, I wanna be blue or something stupid," because why not?
Yeah. It's
You
like
know?
the norm.
Yeah, and so, like, I don't know, color is just, like, a huge part of my life, even though, my entire room is super colorful, and yeah, I know the way that I dress doesn't really reflect that much anymore,
Mhm.
but like I have to surround myself with color in order to like be happy in a way. But then
Yeah.
like I like to sing like look gothic because it's fun and like makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Um and so I drew this picture and I can't remember what skin tone I made her, but I made the hair green. I didn't really think about it at the time, but basically, I don't like the image anymore because her hair looks like lettuce. Like, no joke. I can't whenever I look at that photo or that picture that I drew, I'm just like, "Ugh, I don't care if the rest of it looks good. Hair looks like lettuce. I hate it." Like, and it's not, like, bad. I laugh at it whenever I see it. It's just like, I'm trying to create something good, and then, like, I made lettuce hair. So, I yeah, it's just been a fun ride trying to draw without the markers that I want.
Yeah. Because I remember the first time I met you, I didn't even know you were an artist or whatsoever, or like a
Yeah,
figure.
that's the funny thing is that, like, um, I'll be at work and, like, people don't really, like, know that I do outside of work and stuff, and then, like, I have a few of them on Instagram, and then they're like, "Whoa, that's, like, really cool," and blah, 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 and it's like, it's kind of interesting to I think I prefer meeting people and not telling them that I, do art and then waiting on, like, giving them my social media. Because something that I've learned is that if I tell somebody right off the bat that, "Oh, I do photography and photo shoots and all this stuff," then the friendship is going to be like, "Hey, can you do a photo shoot for me?" And blah blah blah, that sort of thing. So if the foundation of the friendship is like already there, then like a lot of the times people won't even ask, which isn't necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but it makes me see that like they're not just using me for my photos.
Yeah.
And like so that this way like a lot of the times I'll offer sometimes to just like take photos of my friends cuz like yeah, I do paid shoots most of the time, but like some of the times I'm just like, I just want to go out and take photos. I don't really care about the money or anything like that. I just want to go out and take photos. So I just like ask somebody. And sometimes they're not even like my friend. I'll just see them on social media and like I know they go to my school and like they seem pretty nice. And I'll just hit them up and I'll be like, "Hey, like you look like somebody who could model really well in photos. Like do you want to do a photo shoot sometime?" I did this with someone on social media. Their name is Ollie, and they're like super cool, super nice, and like probably one of my favorite photo shoots that I've done in a long time. Um, just because like their energy is so good, and I feel like I captured really well on who they are because um instantly I wanted to do a photo shoot of like who they would be and all this stuff, that sort of thing. And they instantly were like, "Hey, I know you're like the photographer and whatnot, but would you be cool with doing a photo shoot in a like I think they said either a laundromat or a thrift store." And instantly I thought of this like cool antique shop that I've been to like once that I want to do a photo shoot for so long in because it was just such a cool place. Like there was like couch like it's like little sections that
Oh
you
yeah.
walk into.
Is
Yeah, and
I
like
saw that
it
photo
was
shoot on your Instagram. That I was like,
yeah, it was like um different rooms for different vibes in a way. Like some were like super cluttered and like filled with so much chaos, but like with such cool things that it was like really cool. And then other places it was like the 90s but like modern, and it was just like and there would be like chairs or like some places had like really cool lighting and stuff like that. And it was just like a really cool place to do a photo shoot at. Um, and this place is called Antiques and Things, and I definitely recommend going to it. It's in like Albuquerque. Um, like it's on Central. It's a really cool place, and the people were super nice. They were super inviting as well. They were like, "Oh my God, you're taking photos here!" Like and of course I tagged them in all the photos on my Instagram because they were like they're like a little small business just trying to grow, and especially with like quarantine and like COVID and everything, it's definitely hard.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would be so down to be a photographer for them because no offense to them, but if they wanted to grow on like social media, they would need a little help. Um, for sure. Because I've noticed that a lot of like older people, they just think, oh, I could just like snap a photo and like post it and then it'll be like good. That's not necessarily how it works. Like coming from someone who like takes photos a lot, I know what works and what doesn't for the most part.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't really care what works and what doesn't, honestly, because I'm just trying to post my art at this point. For a while, I was like, I just want to post what everybody wants me to post. No, that's that's not gonna make you happy. That's not gonna fulfill you. So I'm like, if like I'm gonna do what I want, and what I want is to post photos that are meaningful and like catch people's eye and really tell a story and are also inclusive. Because I don't want to be that photographer that's like retouching people's skin to make it look like there's no pores. Like that's not realistic for one. For and two, I don't want people to look at my photos and be like, "Oh my god, I wish I was her." When in reality, it's like unrealistic because it's fake.
Yeah.
You know? I want people to look at those photos and be like, "Wow, they have like acne and they're beautiful anyway." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Really like putting it into another perspective of what society expects, right?
yeah. Well, and the other thing is that like everybody constantly is like, "Oh, society this, society that." But the thing is that we make up the society, you know? So like we should be taking the time to change those things. And I've started to see that a lot, especially with body positivity for women. Um a lot of like TikToks on social media are showing a lot of body, body positivity, and honestly it's great because it's making me like just by seeing those videos so much more confident and okay with like my body just because like oh well these women have roles too like of course they do, like there's like been such like unrealistic expectations when it comes to women and like even men as well, just like everybody in general, that
Yeah.
like it's cool to see people breaking down that wall of like here's what things really are like, you don't like let's stop pretending that that's not a thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that inspired me to just want to show what people are really like, and even the Ollie photo shoot did, because they like they are so themselves, and I love that. Like they are so unapologetic. I can't speak.
And
Unapologetically them. That's what I meant to say. um, just because like they don't care. They they do what makes them happy, and they've learned that as long as they're doing that, nothing else matters. And I think that's really cool.
yeah, when you on your
I'm doing more photo shoots soon. Just with quarantine, I'm not really like allowed to see anybody. So
yeah.
hopefully we can do that soon. And yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, on your Instagram, you were like posting on your stories of when you were painting your wall. I'm like, oh,
Oh yeah, this thing.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, that's just
what kind of
me. Like,
meaning? What kind of meaning is like? What's the meaning?
um, there's like a pretty decent amount of meaning for this. Hold on, let me like show the wall because that way we can understand. So this sunflower, I've always had like a connection to sunflowers, and This was inspired by a logo that I made for a brief um business I had. It wasn't really like a business. It was just like for fun for the most part. It was a um graphics design uh business where I mean I made like $200 from it, and like it was like fun to do. I just like I got burnt out of it because of personal reasons, and then like on top of that, I just like knew it wasn't like for me. Like it was fun to do. It's just like and I love doing stuff like that. It just wasn't necessarily for me. And I really enjoy um drawing things that looked as if I was on something, but I actually just wasn't. I don't know, like this psychedelic um trippy vibe is like just really cool. And then this I was inspired by like something I drew on my leg once. I just loved the idea of like I don't know, I just really liked tentacles and like how many colors you could add to them and depth you could add. Cause like I decided to like make it as if like you like so that way you could see the inside of it because I don't know. I don't know. A
Yeah,
lot of this I just like kind of drew. I did add a rainbow because the whole theme of this involved like rainbows in color. Obviously I put a camera because photography, and I put like it's saying smile and then like as if like the flash was like showing a bunch of smiley faces
yeah,
because I just like that'd be like interesting to correlate the two together. And like probably the biggest thing would be the quote on it, and it says you'll never find a rainbow if you're looking down. And that's just somebody randomly said on my story because I was sad and just said, "Hey, cheer me up." And I never do that on my story, but like one day I just decided to for
yeah,
whatever reason. Because normally I just like when I'm sad, I'm just like in my room and I just like watch anime or something, or like I do something just like, or I just let myself be sad because I don't know. That's just the type of person I am. And I guess this quote just like really like resonated with me. Cause like now, whenever I'm sad, I can just like look up at that wall and like see and like remind myself to like keep my head up type thing.
yeah. All right, last question. What advice would you give to anyone who wants to like start photography or like to start some art or
Don't ever say that you can't do it. One of the number one things I hear people say is like, "Oh, I wish I could do photography. I wish I could draw, but I just can't." And the thing is like you don't know you can't unless you try. And the thing is that when you try, you're doing it. So you can. And these things take practice. The where I'm at, it's not even like absolute it's not like, "Oh my god, like she's a professional." And I've been doing it for years on end. And some may say that I look like a professional, but personally I don't. I don't think I do. Cuz I don't see where like I'm constantly trying to improve where I'm at. And like don't compare your art to other people's. I think a huge thing that I have done in the past has been like that's unmotivated me the most is looking at other people's art and thinking, well, mine's not that good. So like that I'm never going to get that good type thing. No, you're just not at that level yet. And one day you will be because where I'm at is on the same level as other people that I thought were good and amazing and that I thought I never could get there, but I did. And I think that's really something because if you sit there and you pursue it for like however long it takes you to get where you want to be, then you'll get there. Um, Everybody can draw, everybody can take photos. It doesn't take like a specific eye or anything like that. It just takes practice on like first you do the basics of like, oh, well, try angle of everything. And if you say you're not a creative person, it's simply because you just haven't found your outlet of what creative means to you. Because everybody has creativity in them. It's just different for everybody. And for me, it's just it's art. Like I live through art. Other people, it's science. Other people, it's math. And that's okay. But you can use things like that to your advantage, because people can calculate things in their head and to get the right photo. And everybody takes different types of photos or draws different types of things, and and it's okay to feel like what you're doing isn't like good enough, because I feel that way all the time. and and that's it's okay, as long as you don't like use it negatively. If you use it to your advantage to motivate yourself, like, and be like, I want to be this, so I'm going to work my butt off to get there, then 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 use that as motivation, but don't discourage yourself about it. Just keep going. Honestly, that's probably the main advice. As long as you just keep going, then you'll do great. And there's many resources out there, like YouTube, all that stuff. I mean, if you wanted to go as far as like paying for Skillshare or something like that, they have amazing things on there as well. And there's just so many resources now. Everybody can do it, honestly.
All right. Well, thank you, Ariana. We'll keep in touch. Hopefully more this time.
Hopefully.
I wish
For
you the
sure.
best of luck in your photography and art.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for being on the show.
No problem.
All right. We'll see you.
See ya.